The old fruit and wool exchange in Spitalfields opened in 1929 and operated for over 60 years, when the volume of imported produce more than doubled after World War I. Since its closure in 1991, roughly 60 small businesses opened up around its area and operated peacefully, allowing the historic building to remain as a reminder of the area's history and a historic landmark for tourists to visit. However, in 2012, then Mayor Boris Johnson approved plans for the historic building to be destroyed in favour of a new £200 million office block development expected to be completed in 2018 by property developing company M&G Real Estate and Exemplar Property Development. While the project is being labelled as regeneration and promises to create an estimate of 2,300 jobs, it is unfortunately just another example of gentrification moving into what was once the most historical areas of London and making way for money and status. As Spitalfields and the wider area in Shoreditch has become the go-to place for tourists and Londoners seeking a piece of the cool status, it has meant that both big and small businesses looking to cash in on this current cool status have moved into the area, in turn raising rent, retail and food prices beyond the capabilities of everyone that already lives here.
And great, cool, more tourists, but I think what you're going to lack is the originality of why people would want to come here in the first place, and that is to see street art. This, bearing in mind 20 years ago, wouldn't have been somewhere you would want to have a stroll with your kids or even live in yourself. This is where essentially the lowest class lived. Now, as we know, it's one of the most expensive areas to live in London. So that proves to you that we, us, the young people, make it up what it is today. So I think it's going to have a massively negative effect. People are going to miss this place. Of course it will. Of course it will, because we've got fucking bagels and donuts over there that cost £5 a donut, but you've got the person that's born in E1, E2 that's begging outside the shop. So of course it is, and they're not catering for their own customers. We can't afford £5 bagels. Completely. It's getting harder and harder. I see it every fucking day. I see it every day. Someone asks me 20, 30 times a day asking me for change. Why is that? Why is you asking me for change? And I say to you, where are you from? I say, fucking around here, mate. Around here, so absolutely negative.
Or is it all on your own?
It's all on our own back, so it's again up to us. We've already approached another site way out in Romford, so it's definitely something that the government have got our back on, as per usual. So I think it's basically up to people like myself and Kate and everybody else that's involved here to just, you know, push forward, look for another site. There is always going to be another disused space here in London. So again, it's just a case of kind of cease to exist. Really, we've got to just carry on. I I think there was as we know, I think there was some that'd be amazing. I think there was some kind of half-assed march slash protest slash let's break into the cereal cafe that happened. I don't know what kicked that one off.
I read a lot of articles about that.
Yeah, that was quite famous. Funny one, really, isn't it? I guess you're probably going to write about it maybe in some points in your studies, in the sense that did pick a bit of a weird business to go at. I mean, I know what they're selling doesn't really, again, accommodate like the donuts and fancy coffees, but on the lower end of it, in the sense it is just, I think it's two blokes or bloke and his wife that run that. So they got hit pretty hard, but I think there's something that needs to be done in terms of preserving this area for the space in which it's used. Because I go out here when I finish work or when I finish here, I'm still faced with addictions, you know, homelessness and all these other problems. So in my opinion, that needs to be addressed first before we start building more things for the likes of tourists, frankly. I think we all, in some way or not, we do like to walk down there, and there is this newer sense of like security in terms of, you know, you've always kind of got these bright lights that are on, and I had to go back to 10 years ago or even 5 years ago when I first started coming down here. It wasn't half as gentrified or cool, essentially. So I think in some ways or another there is people that still want to see kind of people enjoying coffees and it's all nicey, but I think at the end of the day this place turns into a circus at night. So we're still not really addressing, just turning a blind eye and being happy that people are drinking coffees instead of shooting up doesn't mean that the problem doesn't exist. So there's still, you know, I have to see the harsh effects of it. As soon as the sun goes down, Brick Lane and East London is essentially not a nice place to be. And that's the reality of it. No one's fault other than our governments.